What is up, guys? And I'm just gonna show you guys a quick video about you gotta prove the Earth's flat. Not really prove it, but I found this website called livescience.com, and it's supposed to be some kind of scientific website. And they said 7 ways to prove the Earth is round without launching a satellite. So proving the Earth is round. Image credit NASA. Their only image of the Earth. Made in what, 1960 something or. Look, the rapper B.O.B. wants to crowdfund his own satellite and launch into space and find out once and for all whether the Earth is flat or round. As a flat Earth conspiracy theorist, the Georgia-based musician is betting on a flat, but his $1 million call for cash on GoFundMe has raised only about $2,000 in its first 5 days, and the first 1,000 pledged by himself. Fortunately, there are plenty of cheaper ways than launching a satellite to show the Earth is round. So they say the first one is go to the harbor. So I still can't believe this is their evidence. They're saying that seeing a boat disappear from the bottom and slowly seeing it disappear and see the top of the mast at the very end as it goes over the curve is proof. I cannot believe this is still what their evidence is. We already know that, and they said even if you bring telescopes or binoculars, it's still not an illusion. They said the ship and horizon observation is so self-evident that in 1881 Zetetic Astronomy, the first modern flat earth text, devotes a chapter to debunking it. The explanation relies on assuming that the sequential disappearance is simply an illusion brought on by perspective. So this is perspective, guys. Okay, why don't you just go like this, wait for the boat to disappear, then get out your Nikon P900 with your stand, and then zoom in on it, and it's going to come back. And the reason that we see the bottom, we don't see the bottom of it, is because our eyes need light to reflect off the object, and because our eyes are biconvex lenses, and this is just the way our eyes are pick up data. It picks it up by reflecting light off it and it inverts the image, and then it brings it back to our brain, and our brain perceives the data and brings it back to from our eye to our brain, right? So the reason is because we're not seeing that data. The data is that it's like it's coming back at us in a V shape. So data is hitting the water or our feet. So we are not seeing that light. So sorry, that is wrong. Okay, look at the stars. I already know what they're going to say. They're going to say that if you probably go halfway in both hemispheres, you see, both sides of the hemisphere, the northern and southern, you see different constellations that aren't visible. See, I didn't even need to read this one because I already know what they're going to say. Well, guys, if we're living in a giant flat Earth and we have visible limitation, we have limited sight, limited vision, then we're not going to be able to see everything. Then we're obviously going to see part of the dome sky. We're not going to see the whole dome sky. Obviously, we're going to not be able to see all the constellations. Okay, that's what I used to think, because we're on the other half of the Earth, but nope, it's not true. Watch an eclipse, I guess they're saying because we see the circular shadow on the eclipse, that proves that the Earth is a ball, right? Let's see, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, since the curve shaped. Okay, so this one I don't really understand either because on the lunar one. Yeah, I mean, I think that this one just goes through phases. The moon goes through phases itself. And let's see if the lunar one. Yeah, it looks like something's blocking it. They said the Earth's blocking it, and the Earth's casting that shadow, and it's curved. But I have seen it. I think it's stripped. Been taken off the web now, but you can probably still find some footage of it, where lunar eclipses are happening when the sun is out. I mean, like, sorry, you'll see a solar eclipse happening when the moon is out, or you'll see, like, I just think the moon goes through phases itself, and let me think here. Yeah, I know that they'll say, oh, because we see a curving shadow on the moon. But I don't buy that either. And I suppose they're talking about the 2017 eclipse. The solar eclipse that happened in 2018, I believe, or 2019, or sorry, not 2019, 2017 or 2018. It was traveling the wrong direction. It was completely traveling the wrong direction. And even if we're going to talk about lunar eclipses and solar eclipses, the shadows don't make sense either. If you talk about why don't we just talk about solar eclipse? How do you get a shadow? How do you get the shadow on the Earth of the object to be smaller? There's no way. It would be it should be larger than the object, but they make it and show some diagram where it's smaller and it's showing like the lines cross-sect, the light rays intersecting, and it would never happen if the sun was 93 million miles away. So I know that the moon goes through some weird phases, and even in the Bible it says that it goes through its own phases. So that's doing its own thing. Okay, it has nothing to do with the Earth going in its path. The Earth is not moving. Go climb a tree. So they say that if you climb up a tree, you go higher, you can see further. Let me see here. So they're saying that this is exactly what I was saying about they say if you climb up a tree, you can see over the curve, but that's not true because, like I was saying, if you go higher, you can get that information. Let's go back to the number one. Remember I told you that the light is not reading your eyes? If you go higher, you'll see that data. I mean, you'll be able to go up higher and you'll see a different angle and you could see more of that object because you're going higher. It still works on a flat plane. So that's nonsense. Take a around the world flight. So one flight that goes non-stop. So they have some one-way flights that go pretty damn far. Airplanes usually take a little trip in Dubai, or they do two ways because they need to refuel and because they can't do it on a flat Earth. They just can't travel that whole way. And the ones that they do have, where they say they're going across the ocean and shortcutting, they're fake. Okay, I saw this one. It was like the first ever non-stop one-way flight from, going over across the ocean or something and going over Antarctica or something. And John Travolta was promoting it, and he looked like a freaking glazed mannequin. Like his face looked like, these Hollywood celebrities. They're just brainwashed sex puppets that are just catered to the elites that do push their propaganda. But anyway, he was there promoting the fake flight that allegedly takes you around the world. Yeah, right, fake. And then this one, get a weather balloon. So they're using this image. I can't believe they're using this image showing the curvature, and this thing rose up to, I think it was it wasn't 77, it was 125,000 feet, I believe. And the YouTuber named Jeranism took their footage and he put it in a program where he removed the curvature, because this is a GoPro lens. It's curving the Earth. Even when this is on ground level, it's curved. You could see a curve in the Earth. So why is there a curve at ground level? Why is this rope curved? So he fixed everything, and you could see that the Earth is flat and the sun is local. And as we see the sun is local, we see that there is a hot spot and underneath of it, and we see that that's impossible if the sun was 93 million miles, it wouldn't make a little hot spot underneath of it. And also you can see the shadows, where the shadows are, where the light is coming from. We can trace the rays back to the source, and we see that it is a local source. And this one, compare shadows. So yeah, this one, I mean, they try to trick us with all this mathematical jargon, but they say that this mathematician named Eratosthenes, born in, what is it, Greek or something? 76, whatever. Like, okay, they say that the shadow's height, it shouldn't be varying at different times of the day, because on a flat Earth there wouldn't be any difference between length of the shadows at all. The sun's position would be the same relative to the ground. Only a globe Earth explains why the sun's position would be different in two cities a few hundred miles apart. But I think the math they're using is relying on the sun being giant, right? and that distance, something like that. If you make the sun like 30 miles across, 5,000 to 3,000 miles high, you can get the exact same shadows. So it's just fake. So all this is bullshit, propaganda, lies, and they really don't have anything. I mean, the sun proves the Earth's flat. The moon proves the Earth's flat. Water proves the Earth's flat. Rainbows proves the Earth's flat. NASA's fakery proves the Earth's flat. The stars prove the Earth's flat. Solar eclipses prove the Earth's flat. I don't know about lunar eclipses, but it's kind of like an anomaly. But we'll figure that out. I'm sure someone knows or has a better explanation than me. But this is like the flat Earth. We don't know every answer, but we know the Earth's flat, and it's such a huge illusion. But once you look into it and deep into it, you'll see that everything's being manipulated. Like if you go into these images, I was just searching satellite paths. I wasn't even searching flat Earth, and you start seeing stuff that ridicule flat Earth. You start seeing proofs of space, like just a bunch of fake propaganda. And like you always use this picture to mock the flat earthers, but it's just, this is not our model. It's not in space. There is no space. There's nothing we can go to. They always show this fake, this thing which is so faker than a $3 bill, which has no airlocks between each of the section, meaning that if there's one little hole in it, one little micrometeorite hits there and makes a little hole, the whole thing would just be ripped apart because of the change in pressure, and everything would just get torn apart. And there's no way to seal off sections. Just one open, everything connected, open. And look, this Earth is, what is that? Florida? Why is Florida taking up the whole Earth? What is that? It looks like one little country there. And then we'll go down, we see all these fake images of the satellites, like fake satellite images. And then they do stuff like this, like they'll put the flat Earth, and even though this probably is something to do with Satan in Google Earth, they put it like this to make Christians and flat earthers look stupid, right? And like, yeah, that's a great idea. I mean, that's a great question. But they always have an answer for everything, some bullshit answer. Look at all the satellites that we allegedly have. How come they're not smashing into one another? How come they're not blocking out the sun? How come we don't see them making shadows on the Earth? Or how come we don't see them, we don't see any of these satellites exploring in the sky or coming across the moon? And I know some people say, oh, they do, but they're close. These things are closer than the ISS. We allegedly see the fake ISS, whatever it is, looks like the ISS, but it's not something that can hold people. It's probably just like a hologram or some kind of ship that they fly up there just to fuck with us. I don't know what it is, but like I said, that's just another anomaly. But we already have most of the data down. We already know the Earth's flat. Okay, we already know there's no gravity. That it's buoyancy and density, the air is a liquid, that you can just, if you're heavier than it, you just fall through it. It's electromagnetic. That's what holds us down. We are electromagnetic. We are bio electromagnetic batteries. In our intestines we have, that's what the qi stuff is. Okay, I have a video talking about that stuff, but the Tao, the ancient Tao, right? They wrote on the wall 2,000 years ago. Inscribed on the wall, they explain exactly what humans are. They have this bio battery. They're bio batteries. They can hold energy, charge it, and the qigong is to activate the 7 pumps in your body and keep your blood and the liquid in your body flowing, so you can absorb energy in the environment and feel healthier and live longer. But everything is electromagnetically based, and we live on a flat plane realm. And if you follow the aurora borealis, if you take out your compass and you follow your north, you will head to the aurora borealis. You will head to the source of where the aurora borealis comes from. And man, just fake bullshit. Sorry, I didn't want to turn into one of these videos, but like they have the space here, like just ridiculous. Alright, thanks for listening.